What is up, everyone? C. Chad Run here, and today I'm going to be doing a comparison between the Pegasus 37 pitted against the Adidas Solar Glide 19. So this is how we're going to do this. I've got my official comparison chart. We're going to talk about the upper fit, comfort, heel, and support. We're going to talk about the midsole, the comfort of the midsole, the response of the midsole. We're going to talk about the outsole, grip, life, overall durability, and just overall catch-all type of topic. So let's get into it. First off, between the two shoes, you are looking at a daily trainer for both of them. You got the Nike Pegasus over here on the left with 28 millimeter heel stack and 18 millimeter forefoot. Of course, you've got that air zoom pocket in the front for nice responsiveness. Get more into that in just a sec. As for the Adidas, you've got 32 millimeter heel stack and 22 millimeter forefoot stack. So looking at a 10 millimeter drop in both of these, you're looking at about 10 ounces in both shoes. And again, both of these shoes are touted as a daily trainer. So let's get into the topics. All right, we'll start off with the fit of the upper. Both shoes have a very comfortable upper. I'm very pleased with both, how both of these fit on foot. So for that, we're gonna give them probably a draw. They both have about the same room in the toe box, although the Adidas has maybe a little bit more room. They're both a slightly tight fitting shoe for a daily trainer, although I don't find that to be an issue at all. I prefer a little bit more of a snug fit around the top of my foot and in the toe box. So we're gonna give it a draw. We'll give each one of these a mark here. As for the comfort, both of them are very comfortable. I was actually pleased with how comfortable the Nike Pegasus upper was around the foot and how it felt. It was just very, very snug. The Adidas is also very comfortable, very adaptable to your foot, which I really appreciate. Now, one difference on the upper is that on the Nike Pegasus, you have a gusseted tongue. It is gusseted or secured on both sides here, so that tongue's not going to be moving around on you, which is really nice. On the Adidas, you are looking at a non-gusseted tongue, although it is slightly more padded. Not a lot of padding, but slightly more padding than on the Pegasus 37. Even though the tongue is not gusseted in place, I have never had an issue with this tongue moving around from one side or another during the course of a run. So I like that both shoes have a very comfortable, flexible upper. There is no bunching at all. The material itself is very comfortable in either one. Both about the same breathability. I will add that the Nike has maybe a thinner upper. Seems to be a dense material. The Adidas has a little bit thicker, but you can see it's got all these ridges, which really are nice when the shoe's flexing, because those ridges will fold in and it'll prevent bunching as you go through your gait cycle. So overall, for that comfort, I'm gonna give it a draw on the upper. So we'll give each one a mark. Okay, the heel on each of these shoes. Both shoes have a very comfortable heel. They have adequate padding around it, around the upper parts of the ankle, and a little bit of a space for the lower part of your heel to help secure that in place. Now, there is a significant difference in the two approaches on these shoes. So the Nike has a more traditional heel hold and Achilles heel padded comfort. It's got a little bit of a flare, which is kind of nice, so it doesn't interfere with that Achilles heel. The Adidas, however, and I think this is actually quite ingenious, has like a flexible, this whole back part is flexible. It's slightly stretchy of a material, And of course, you've got your flare here as well, so you don't have interference. So the biggest difference is that the Adidas is going to hold around the side of your ankle. It secures it along the side of your ankle here, as opposed to around the back where the Achilles heel is, unlike the Nike, which holds more along the back of your heel and along the bottom lower part of your Achilles heel. Both are comfortable, but if I had to pick one shoe that I liked more, I've really come to like the Adidas. I like how it holds, again, along the side of my heel rather than along the back where the Achilles heel is. And I really like that this Achilles heel fabric is stretchy right here, and it just makes it so comfortable, does not interfere, and yet both shoes seem to hold your heel in place very well, very nicely. I've heard some people say that the Pegasus 37 heel slips around just a little bit. I've noticed the same thing, although it's not an issue at all. Once you get going and get running the shoe, that heel slip that you might experience pretty much goes away immediately. So on that note, we are going to give the heel to the Adidas. Again, it's just more comfortable, more flexible, more adaptable, and still holds your heel in place very, very well. All right, last category when it comes to the upper is the overall support. Both shoes are very, very supportive. They hold around the top of your foot very nicely. One big difference is that the Adidas has these guide rails. It's just another dense EVA foam. It guides along the both sides of the shoe. And that helped provide some pretty good lateral support. The Nike doesn't have that, although it's not really a concern because you kind of sit down inside of this foam, the React foam, a little bit. So again, the overall support on each shoe is very nice. I do like the guide rails on the Adidas, although not having an issue with that as far as lateral support as a cross trainer or a daily trainer on the Pegasus 37. So again, when it comes to support, I think both of them are very good. We're gonna give it a draw. So we'll mark each of those. Alrighty. Now on to the midsole. Both shoes have a different approach here. So you've got the Nike React foam with the Air Zoom pocket on the Pegasus 37. On the Solar Glide 19, you have the Adidas Boost material. Both shoes have a very good feel when it comes to running, whether you're running a little bit quicker of a pace or you're just out for an easy run or even a little bit of a tempo run. I found that the Pegasus 37 has very nice cushioning, but also provides good response. As for the Adidas Solar Glide 19, that Boost material is also very soft but responsive. So when it comes to comfort overall, I am going to, I would say, give it a draw. However, when it comes to the long runs, I have found that the Adidas is much more comfortable when you start going over, say, 10, 11, 12, 13 miles. It just feels that there is better comfort in the long run on the Adidas Solar Glide 19. So for comfort, I'm going to give the win to the Adidas. Now that does not mean that the Pegasus 37 is a ride or isn't comfortable, because it certainly is comfortable and recommended. When it comes to the response, I'd already mentioned that both of them are very responsive. I love the feel of the Boost and how it just kind of bounces you back out of your foot strike and onto the next one. It's just really, really nice. I have really come to like the Boost material. Very responsive. The Pegasus 37 has an interesting balance between comfort and response. I would say it's almost as responsive as the Adidas, although it's still very responsive given that it's got that Air Zoom. That's really made the difference. I mentioned in my initial impressions video that the Pegasus 37 has cushioning where you want it, being right there in the mid to back part of the shoe, but responsiveness where you need it, right up in the forefoot as you take off and push off with your foot. So it's a very good balance. So as far as that responsiveness, I'd be going back and forth. Again, I like the Boost, but the Pegasus 37 surprised me. So we're gonna call it a draw. All right, getting near the end here. Outsole. Let's talk about the outsole a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna try and compare apples to apples here. The Pegasus 37 has a very good amount of rubber on the bottom. You can see it's almost a full spread of rubber, which is very nice. Seems to be very grippy. The Adidas Solar Glide 19 also has a full spread of stretch web rubber. You can see that Adidas is partnered with Continental on that rubber outsole. So as far as coverage, they seem to be pretty much the same. When it comes to durability, now I haven't taken the Nike Pegasus 37 to an extreme amount of miles. I've put about, at this point, about 35 miles into it, and the rubber is showing little to no signs of wear. The Adidas over here, I have over 550 miles in that one, and I've been very pleased with the longevity of the rubber. As far as grip, you know, I've been very pleased with the Adidas Solar Glide 19. That Continental rubber, it just grips well when the surface gets a little sketchy, a little wet, or has sand on it. The Nike also surprised me. It's been very good. Sticky rubber. The lug depth is a little deeper than the Adidas was. So it should last a long time, I would imagine as well. Again, into that 500, even 600 mile range, depending on how you run and how much you might weigh. So when it comes to the rubber, the grip, I'm going to give that a draw. Same with the Life. At this point, I'm going to say that is a draw. So we'll give both a mark here. Very pleased with the outsole. Durability, you know, it's maybe a little early to tell the overall durability of the Pegasus 37, but it appears that that's going to be just an overall long-lasting shoe. The Adidas as well has always lasted a long time. Again, I've got over 550 miles on this particular pair of Adidas shoes. I've already started using a different pair, and the upper is very nice and still holding together quite well. My only concern would be with the midsole as far as durability on the Nike. I don't know how long that Nike React is really going to last, if that's something that you could expect to get 500 miles out of. As far as a daily trainer though, I would recommend either one when it comes to durability. So we'll call it a draw on that. Overall, final thoughts. Again, both shoes are very good. I've been very happy with that. Overall, though, I do find that the Adidas is probably the more adaptable shoe, meaning that you can use it for a few more things. The Adidas, to me, seems like it does better when I want to pick up the pace a little bit more. Just gives a little bit more feedback, a little more response as I pick up the tempo. The long runs as well, the Adidas seems to be the better shoe. Just my feet aren't as tired on those long, 18, 20 mile runs. So I prefer the Adidas when it comes to those longer runs. So overall, with those thoughts, I'm going to give the win to the Adidas. Now, as far as price, we'll mark the win for the Adidas. Some of those generic thoughts. Price, the Adidas is priced at $140 MSRP. As for the Pegasus 37, you're looking at $120 MSRP. So the Adidas is more expensive. However, both shoes, generally you're going to be able to find a pretty good sale price or discounted price, or some website that offers a coupon code. I personally have not paid much more than $100 for the Adidas Solar Glide 19. I've owned now 3 pairs of the 19. The Nike, it's a very popular shoe. You're going to find tons of retailers that are going to offer it. And so there's a good chance you'll be able to find that also in that $100 or sub $100 price range, at least in a little while after the shoe isn't as new. So when it comes to price, both shoes are, I would say, comparable. So let's look at our stats here. It's obvious that the Adidas overall is going to get that win. It got a couple marks in the overall category, or the general category, as well as an extra mark on that midsole. So the win in this case, I'm giving it to the Adidas Solar Glide 19. That is not to say that the Nike Pegasus 37 is a bad shoe or not a good choice. A ton of people like that shoe, and for good reason. I like it as well, but if I had to choose just one, it would be the Adidas Solar Glide 19. And that's it for my review. Be sure to like and subscribe. Also, as I always say, remember, be consistent, express gratitude, and enjoy every mile. Until next time, I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.